He was the steady voice for 20 years. Abram constructed more behind the sawdust standard than furnishings. He gained the trust of more than 21 seasons and almost 300 episodes of the wearing his plaid shirt at the new Yankee workshop. Firm hands and a gentle voice guidelines. Norm became a mainstay in American residences, but behind the tranquil something was silently present in the workshop doors. Disintegrating in spite of producing 235 projects by using screens to coach millions, Norm was struggling with a serious issue. Rumors of personal weight loss started. Swirling spectators saw that he looked not the same as after 40 years of television. Norm suddenly left without saying anything. Farewell, no comeback, WGBH, and this he received lifetime honors from the old house, but never discussed the true cause of what transpired. Did the most adored carpenter in America disappear so abruptly, and what was the tragic reality of his stillness? Leave now and let's return to 1989. Fans of woodworking in America gather. Staring at their televisions, wondering what PBS had planned for them, as they see Norm Abrams, a man, entered. A power tools abound in this tiny workshop. Well-maintained wood and a massive sliding barn door, and suddenly the new weight as the Yankee workshop comes to life. What is Norm Abram's identity and how did he come to host one of America's favorite woodworking programs? To comprehend that we need to go back a little further. Rewind to October 3, 1949, at that time. In Woonsocket, Rhode Island, Norm is born. While growing up in Milford, he doesn't spend his days in Massachusetts, riding motorcycles or playing baseball, such as other children. Instead of following his father, who works as a carpenter wherever he goes, Norm, who is 9 years old, is already assisting install hardwood flooring. And consider that the majority of children his age are simply. Norm is already learning how to tie his shoes. Using saws and hammers by high school, he works beside him throughout the summers, alongside his father on construction sites. At first, attending college sounds like a terrific idea. Norm attempts to learn mechanical engineering at the University of Amherst, Massachusetts, but classes are full. Theory soon bored him, so he wants action that he can construct using his own hands. Norm transitions to business administration, but it's not clear either he is fully aware of his passion's real-world experience, so he drops out of college. Nearing graduation and prepared to begin his own journey, fast forward to the Norm of 1976. Abram starts his own business called An Important First for Integrated Structures Inc. Endeavor to construct a general store on its really successful Nantucket. Soon, Norm will oversee large-scale building. He is young and has sights around New England. Gifted and possesses abilities that people respect and admiration, but life has other. 1979 TV with a twist in store for him. Norm is hired by producer Russell Morrish to construct a tiny workshop in his backyard. Home. Morrish is not a typical customer. He is the creator of well-known television programs such as The French Cooking Show, hosted by Julia Child. Chef Russell observes how meticulous and orderly with his work Norm is working rapidly. Recognizes that Norm possesses a unique quality, something that viewers would enjoy. Russell invites Norm to join shortly after. This is his new house remodeling program. The old house. Norm begins to emerge, frequently demonstrating to homeowners how to fix and update their homes in America. Falls for him, and the Norm becomes the handyman that everyone trusts. For his soothing voice gave clear directions and useful guidance. Let's move on now. After 10 years of this, it's 1989 once more. Russell determines that Norm deserves an ancient house, the new Yankee, and his own program. When a workshop is created, it differs from beautiful historic homes since it's all about. Each episode features woodworking tasks. Norm explains to viewers each stage of constructing items such as cabinets and chairs, tables, and even outdoor construction such as viewers, garden sheds, and gazeos. Habit makes it impossible to get enough of. He is pleasant to work with and never rushes. Describes each step in detail so that anyone watching from home can keep up with him. Visits historical sites at each episode's opening to display viewers where his ideas for woodworking originate. After that, he goes back to his store and begins meticulously illustrating every aspect of the actual workshop as soon as possible. Becomes well known and appears to be a comfortable barn. Nevertheless, beyond that enormous sliding door is a fully furnished woodworking workshop. The shop is precisely 936 square feet. Everything has a place inside. Drills, routers, sanders, and even a unique finishing space hidden in the well-known west wall's corner displays the Norm works on minor projects on the rear bench. Information and projects for the south wall include the storage units for the miter saw bench and a secret radial arm saw in addition to a computer and office space in a corner on the east. Viewers never truly see a loft full of storage as accessible by wall steps. Unique jigs and sanding equipment with a strong dust collector that keeps the air. The north wall is spotless and brimming with essentials of woodworking. Band saw jointer correctly positioned planer clamps. In the middle is Norm's reliable table saw. The core of any project he constructs. Norm consistently builds more than simply furnishings. He establishes credibility and relationships with the audience. By the time of the 21st anniversary of the new Yankee workshop, Norm has finished about 235 games this season. Fans tune into various woodworking projects, devotedly eager to see what some viewers never even attempt to construct next. They simply like woodworking themselves. Observing Norm's abilities and composure personality, but as the program goes on every year, nobody understands another thing is subtly taking place. Behind the scenes, something tragic event that will soon alter everything they believe to be true. For viewers regarding Norm Abram, Norm is always calm and steady, but what's actually happening when the cameras cease as you roll, you see Norm finishing up. Displays a relaxed smile while flaunting yet another ideal piece of furniture, yet behind that kind smile, there's toughening as you observe him complete the notable initiatives such as that 1995's cherry bathroom vanity or the comfortable mission-style couch from 1990. You enjoy the security of knowing every episode begins and ends in the same manner. Like clockwork, every performance concludes Norm carefully storing the tools, putting aside the sliding furniture and shutting the door of the factory and going home to his dinner with family feels ideal, yet every season, reality changes. At least Norm continuously films the building. 235 projects between 1989 and 2009 that you may consider a career in a woodshop. Every day may seem simple, but keep in mind each of these tasks requires careful preparation. Norm and his group meticulously select each design source accurate materials and make thorough instructions prior to these aren't even rolling cameras. Easy tasks that every episode requires perfection every year. The tasks get early on. Norm is more ambitious and takes on smaller pieces, such as nightstands, and by the middle of the 9s, he's going to increasingly larger gazios that require 2 episodes to complete. Boats made from even the entire garden sheds by scratching in 1998. Season 10 of the show turns into specialized works of art such as the intricate roll-top desk. The undertaking. Norm is divided into 2 parts. Episodes to ensure that every project requires additional preparation, pressure and additional time spent apart from his For You family. It's fantastic TV. Norm walks through each step with composure, not appearing hurried, yet as the years roll by, the tempo doesn't drop down because the woodworking enthusiasts continue to arrive. Norm returned because the network wants more shows. Every year, with 2008's season 20, they're attempting something they have never done before. Prior to an extensive kitchen renovation immediately in the house of producer Russell Morrish was destroyed. Divided into 9 episodes that are centered on cabinet construction and installation, you witness the completion of a stunning kitchen episode after episode, yet you're not able to observe that the amount of time it takes behind each episode requires precise measurements. Meticulous trimmings and flawless finishing. Even something basic, as constructing a kitchen cabinetry, need meticulous attention to detail. To be specific, errors are not the norm. Movies that play repeatedly for hours on end step several times to achieve the ideal shot, yet the audience never sees him perspire. Norm seems composed and accurate, however, as pressures increase, Norm's personal challenges as he ages, and was born in 1949, meaning that by the time the performance reaches the season's conclusion in 2009, he's spending days as a 60-year-old bending while standing on hard concrete floors above workbenches that are carrying a lot of power tools that he has been using continuously. It's not easy on his body since he was in his 20s. The things that are not visible on camera are the stiffness and aches you can't see. He was worn out from rubbing his aching wrists. Hours of relaxing or sanding his strained back from carrying large timbers. Woodworking off camera is more than just a Norm's pastime, is actual physical labor. Then there is the Norm for the emotional side. Like woodworking, but more than 20 years of filming, his enthusiasm gradually turns into week after week, year after year, at his job. Audiences tune in anticipating each fresh episode, but every new endeavor for Norm greater time away, greater pressure from his family and greater accountability. And for that reason, on October 16, 2009, WGBH Boston makes an announcement. Startlingly, there are no new episodes of the new Yankee Workshop will be created following the beloved's 21 amazing seasons. The woodworking display ends peacefully. You and all the other admirers are amazed that such a well-liked show abruptly cease at first, as if the issue may be money. But Norm subsequently clarifies that money wasn't the problem at all. The entire performance was completely sponsored by sponsors and could readily have gone on for many years, but Norm, he determines that it's time because he feels he's completed all of his goals. Accomplish more than he want to finally spend time with his family in person. No more continuous, never-ending filming requests for fresh woodworking initiatives. Norm Abram takes a step back after 21 years. From the fan spotlight, it's devastating to learn that Norm isn't. He's transformed from a woodworker to he's been a woodworking friend for 21 years. Been there to assist you every weekend. Overcome challenging tasks or just keeping you company in the silence. The reason for the cancellation is that viewers weren't prepared to take Norm's serene presence without considering the program may just terminate, but it does unexpectedly and discreetly. Following the last new in 2008, the project aired. The Tap Table. Season 21 of next year is made up completely of seasons 9 and 10. Reruns were released. Norm, no new woodworking for a moment ventures that are merely rehashing past favorites as the workshop shuts down in solitude. No announcements, no huge farewell, no doors episode with Norm leaving calmly the workshop one final time despite the fact that something in 2009 marks the conclusion of the show. Unexpected events occur years later. Until beginning on September 5, 2022. Supporters might still use this old house to stream episodes. Insider, but even those who came after evaporate as a result of changes in licensing. Appears to be Norm's legacy in woodworking may abruptly disappear and then reappear. January 13, 2023, production Moorish can be seen on a recently launched YouTube. Every episode features a video containing unexpected news. Returning this year is the new Yankee Workshop. Everyone can watch online at any time. Norm's efforts unexpectedly discover a new audience, generating enthusiasm among younger audiences that weren't present at the original. Immediately after Norm shuts the door to the workshop. For the final time, you may believe he's leaving the woodworking peacefully. However, Norm Abram is not the type of should entirely slow down before he departs, underlying the constant stress of filming, but he wants to do so much more. Norm leaps into new things rather than relaxing. Initiatives you most likely wouldn't anticipate in Norm delivers a significant speech in 2001 at Bennett Street School in North Boston is a school well known for instructing students in craftsmanship and woodworking. Norm encourages others by sharing his knowledge. Students aspiring to work as carpenters, similar to how he was when he was younger, enthusiastic about training the next generation, is supported by the Norm Assistance for the upcoming apprenticeship program. Young people acquire building trade skills, preserving the craft of traditional carpentry, but his impact extends beyond the usual. Is seated on the trustees board at Massachusetts's Old Sturbridge Village, a museum renowned for demonstrating to guests how normative loves were practiced millennia ago. History and living in this community helps him preserve his abilities and customs actually from the past. Norm's dedication to conserving heritage grants him a 2018 special award. The Ken Burns. This distinction is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Honors those who make important effects on historical and artistic preservation. With relation to prizes, Norm gets a lot more during his The Americans career. On April 23, 2009, Norm is presented by the Academy of Ophthalmology with their Distinguished Service from iSmart Award that honors him for his lifetime endeavor to promote safety. Recall how Norm is usually adamant about putting on safety glasses first, demonstrates his emphasis on eye safety. Keeps countless injuries from happening. People consider because Norm believes in it. And here's another enormous honor during the 49th annual Midday, June 18, 2022, Emmy Awards. Norm and the complete This Old House crew obtain a Lifetime Achievement honor from the National Television Academy. Consider this: Arts and Sciences. 117 Emmy nominations are given to Old House over time and receives 20 Emmys. He can be seen in over 1,000 the show's episodes that renovate more over 50 residences and turning into a household name along the way. But this is what's something unexpected about Norm, that he doesn't limit yourself to woodworking and housework. In fact, the refurbishment Norm appears in unexpected locations. Jesus appears as himself in the oddball Freakazoid animation in the Normadas episode, where he is abducted by a villain to create a unique. He also appears with a wooden weapon. Children's programming such as Between the Lions and Carmen's location in the world San Diego is twice the average, even appearing in comedic advertisements for Foot Locker titled House of Hoops. Demonstrating his ease in front of any camera is another enjoyable experience. Norm's cameo occurs during an episode of Fetch with Ruff, a game show on the PBS Kids channel. Ruffman assisting in the construction of Everything Lemonade stand, and he was the guest in 2010. Stars on the well-known baking show Ace of Cakes demonstrate his willingness to step wherever he is, outside his comfort zone. Norm goes, and he's consistently recognized for his calm, welcoming manner is typical. He's made plaid shirts legendary. Rarely spotted without a single fan identify those shirts right away, and even comedies such as Home Improvement remember to parody Norm's signature manner. Al Borland, who loves plaid shirts character, is influenced solely by Norm Abram himself, but how does he behave? Out of the spotlight in his personal life, both Norm and his spouse, Elise, are gifted. Potter resides in a stunning timber-framed home. Norm constructs his colonial home in Norm Carroll of Massachusetts, even composes a book on constructing this home called Details of Norm Abram's New Home are shared. Regarding his design decisions and the construction process, he later purchases another house in Rhode Island close to the coast, preparing to construct a new. He even thinks about going to the woodworking shop there. Learning how to build ships in a whole new way. Norm likes this type of woodworking adventure. Remaining active and discovering new things, he likes to cook and explore art with Elise. Fishing, boating, kayaking, and galleries. Even after separating from his well-known TV demonstrates that Norm is still pursuing interests that keep him occupied and content in addition, Norm Abram composes not one, but 8 distinct works concerning titles for carpentry such as Measure Twice Cut Shaker from the new Yankee was once mostly Workshop as well as a children's book called The Fans are assisted by new Yankee Workshop Kids Stuff. And novices gain knowledge from his years of expertise. He additionally serves on the This Old House's editorial board publication, in which he contributes a well-known Norm's Notebook sharing column, helpful woodworking advice for readers every month. Every career ultimately concludes following an amazing 43 years as a master carpenter. Norm on This Old House declares his fans will retire in May 2022. Abram is more than just a television charisma. He has integrated himself into people's lived for many years. PBS pays tribute to Norm's career with a unique honor in October titled The House That Norm. On March 3, 2022 made acquaintances with celebs, co-workers, and friends exchange memories and snippets of stories. Honoring all that Norm has done and notwithstanding allegations that circulated regarding when others observe Norm's health, Norm never publicly acknowledges losing weight, apparent illness, but instead he silently shifts to retirement with an emphasis on his family's interests and a more laid-back as of right moment. Norm Abram's story appears to whole, yet he's always been brimming with unexpected events.